co-Salish people here tonight for letting us dance on your land. Thank you very much. Thank you for the peaceful. Second, I'd like to thank the Evergreen Longhouse here for letting us come here to share some of our songs and dances with you. It's a beautiful facility, unlike any other in the universities across the United States. It's a warm, friendly place to be. And for those of you who came early this morning or this afternoon and endured the festivities all day, thank you very much for staying. The next song we're going to sing belongs to the Wishkiton people, the Shark Clan people. My wife is a shark. She bit me a while back. That's how we got married. I couldn't get away. And I'm a whale, too. This belongs to the Wishkiton people. It's a love song. And permit me, I'll get the book on how to recite this song. It's very proper for us to give the introduction to these songs because they are clan old. And we're only can do these songs by permission only from the proper clans. The Wishkiton love song was given to permission by Dennis Gray, who was the clan leader of the Shark Clan. The song goes like this. I think and miss you, children of the Wishkiton. Please show me some sympathy. I pray to my God for you, children of the Kakwantan. Every day I carry you close to my heart. It's hard sometimes to translate our songs into English because most of our language and so forth were metaphors. So you had to interpret it the way a native would look at it. When we say it in Tlingit, it means something very different. Okay? But so, like I say, it's hard to translate, but we do the best we can. Thank you. Good. came along and turned the canoe over. His wife went into the water. He went into the water. When he came up, he did not see his wife. And he panicked. He swam around the canoe looking for her. He dove underneath the canoe to see if she got stuck, but he couldn't find her. He reached frantically into the water, grabbing anything he could. And what he thought was seaweed, and he pulled it up, it was the hair of his wife. He secured her to the canoe, and they kicked the canoe to the beach. He was so happy that day that the Creator had given her back to him. He wrote this song for his children and his grandchildren, so they would never forget this day that the Creator gave their mother and their grandmother back to them. It's a love song that talks about how happy he is for thanking these people, for thanking Paul for that lovely day. The song belongs to, written by David McKinley, who had long passed. The songs were passed down to the next translator, which was Sam Hammond Sr., the Wichita people. When he passed away, the song was passed to Dennis Gray as the new leader. That's why our songs have never died. They've been passed down from generation to generation. That's how we tell the stories of who we are, where we come from. We can identify by the crest on our backs and on the fronts of our tunics and our robes, because they all tell a story of where they're from. Our people would look at these robes and they could tell the whole story of your family just by looking at it, knowing and know where they come from. That's the beauty of the native culture. Although it is not written, everything we wear is written, so it never dies. much different than how we leave in Alaska. Same material, but different designs. There is a 4-line gel cap blanket made of all cedar bark. It's beautiful. I don't know how old, it's got to be, golly, I can't put a year on it because it traveled through in the 1800s. Okay? So whoever has possession of this tape has really taken good care of it. It looks like it was made yesterday. But I know looking at it, it's hundreds of years old already. And all the rest of the stuff that's in there. We had stuff from Coast Salish all the way up to the Queen Charlotte Islands, to Sitka, Alaska, all the way into to Anchorage, where they named one of the inlets, Cook Inlet. So if you get a chance, go over there and see it. Beautiful stuff. You'll never get a chance again, probably, to ever see it because it belongs to private collectors. And I don't know how long they're going to be there. Go take a look. It's your history. The song we're going to do tonight now is a spirit dance belonging to the Duckdane Tong people of Buda, Alaska.
Tus Hitlea. I'm from the Wishkiton clan, the Wishkiton Shark House. Antia City Ka Kiks Kwan Ea Dak Ea. I'm from the Petersburg and Cape areas. Hot Yi Adi Kunishchish. Thank you all for being here. Kunishchish.
Good evening. Kutia asked me to dance with them. I'm Laura Grabhorn, and I'm in the Gannoxie clan from Oahu, Alaska. I am the youngest daughter of Old Tribe.
Your mom is not here tonight. You have to stand by yourself. I've known young people since they were babies, when they were carried in like Crystal carrying her daughter. That's how long these young men have been dancing with our dancing. It's great that they can speak in the Lushootseed language, and they can also speak in the Tlingit language and they can also speak in English. This young man here, his mother is a bank, is attending the AFN conference. I don't know if you know it, called the Alaska Federation of Natives, where all the tribes from all Alaska come to Anchorage. It's a very strong body of Native people from all the different tribes that come together to chart out what they want in the next coming year. And they work together for Alaska is the first state in the Union to declare and abolish Columbus Day and call it Indigenous Day. Proclamation was given by the governor of Alaska on the first day of the elders and the youth conference. That was last Wednesday night. So it was it really set the tone for the whole convention. This young man is legally blind, but he insists to be on his own so he can do his own thing. If you poke a hole inside a piece of paper and look through it, that's what he sees. I give him credit for sticking by his independence and doing what he wants to do. I just told him to stay out of the casinos. He had a teacher a long time ago when he was 7 years old that taught him how to play poker. And he's good at it. So I commend these people here, my dancers, because no matter where they are in the state, they come from Linwood, they come all the way from Puyallup and Sumner, you know, and they come together as a dance group so they can continue their culture. It is very important to know who you are and where you come from. There's no such thing as part Indian. Let me set you real straight on that. There's no such thing as a part Indian. When you say part Indian, you look at it and what part are you? Your finger, your toenail, your eyelash, your left cheek, right cheek, molar. If you have one drop of native blood in you, you are Indian. Oh, that's the way it is. When we say in our language, yay away, yay away. That's the way it is. You can't change it. You can't wash it away. You can't will it away. You can't give it away. And you cannot deny it. If you have 1 ounce of Indian in you, that's who you are. The next song belongs to the Pablo people. Again, my nephew here is Pablo John, so we'll lead the dance in this one. Go!
Yeah.
graduation. It has been a great honor this past 20 years to be part of the family of the Longhouse. They have done so much for us, they don't really know what their impact is with this dance group. But it is monumental. So we have a token of our appreciation for this. Laura, Tina, she looks too authentic. On behalf of our Kutia dancers, my nephew made this bentwood box. And I know the Osage people know what that is. It is a box that has been bent on all four corners, steamed, pegged, and that's it. No nails or anything like that. This is a traditional travel box our people used as they traveled throughout the villages. It was also used for cooking. It was used for storage of personal items. There are many uses of this box. You'll see big boxes that are elaborately carved, but that was later on in the century. My nephew, father, belonged to the Southwest tribe. And he put these particular designs on there to also represent the people to the south.
Like my uncle was saying, these utility boxes were very simple in use, where they were just made for food storage and for cooking. And they were everyday use. I kind of joked there are Tupperware. But the simplicity of the design and the meaning of the use is even more heartfelt than a very elaborately carved box, because this is every day. We live who we are every day. We don't do it only on special occasions. And I thank the Longhouse for everything that you have done for Kutia and for all of us. Jeez, thank you so very, very much.
We wanted to say that I can't even imagine an event here without Alaska Kutia dancers being a part of it. And it's a good thing that I've seen so many of their performances because I was sort of able to sing along. These folks mean the world to me and to the Longhouse here. I've watched people grow up from little babies, and it's great that everybody's a part of this event and a part of the Longhouse. You guys have always been
Paul. The next song we're going to depart on belongs to the people of Keeksquan, Alaska, which is the English name is Cape. The story goes on this particular song that a little baby was listening to her father singing and drumming. And she started dancing with a couple of mandarin oranges in her hand. And she was very small, and she was just keeping beat this song, and he called it the Mandarin Song in honor of that little child. So this is going to be our exit song this evening. I'd like to thank you all for enduring the long day, and safe travel home tonight, and go see Hawks tomorrow because they got their work cut out for them. I have faith in them. They're going to do something very special tomorrow. We show the impression of our people when we come in backwards. When we do that, especially in a big plant house or a Longhouse, all of the guests come in backwards until we reach the floor and then we turn around. It's to let the audience know who the people are that are coming in. It's no offense to the Plains people because they're a little bit different, you know, and that their meaning is a lot different than ours. But that's the simplicity of our dance coming in backwards, is to identify ourselves to others. Now let the Longhouse staff begin to dance out. life. So I thank Evergreen very much for this program. It's just quite incredible.
How about a round of applause for the Katia dancers? Oh, see ya. Ati wacha church, the ayus. Scotland Fleets for Wawa. This is a slightly different part of the program, and we're going to acknowledge that. And early on in the program was honoring and acknowledging our pillars of our home, and it was acknowledging all the work everybody has done. And we'll be transitioning, moving further along into saying, yes, we still have our pillars. We have had our elders. And so many of us have lost our elders. But it's, what we have done was accepted a responsibility to be the ones to say, we'll stand and we'll work from here forward. And that we will follow the lessons that they gave us. One of these teachings, one of these lessons is they taught us how to listen to the animals, how to listen to the wind. Taught us how to listen to these things. And so, before I talk more about that, I want to sing a song honoring. This song is We Raise Our Hands to You. Everyone for showing up here tonight, having your breath here, having the spiritual eye here, sharing together, breaking bread together, acknowledging our, it's hard to say, but I'll say this word, our Shobali, the ones that we knew, our beloved ones that had passed on. That's a very sacred word. And so we'll sing the song to honor all of these things. Oh, oh, yeah. Wanted to offer that praise for everyone for being good potluck people, showing up early and staying late. Before I move on, I want to be able to say, as we were praying about the continuation of the work, the sacred work that has taken place in this whole campus, we listened to the salmon people, and how the salmon people have to go through so much, all of the obstacles, all the trials, everything from day one. It has to go through everything. And there comes a time when they finally make it to the rivers, to the streams, and they still go through all the trials, all the struggles. It comes to the hard places, to jump up over the logs, over the rocks. Makes the effort time and time again until it makes it over. And once it makes it over, it continues moving forward. Now, as it continues moving forward, it finally gets to this place, far up into the streams, and it begins to clear a spot. Clears out a spot, And that's where the eggs will be laid and the children are being born. And that's what's taking place. We had listened to the Salmon people to say that we're moving forward through all the struggles, all that takes place, and that we have our eye to the future, clearing the place. And that in our language we would say, Skashapslikspoalva, means the food for future children. And that's what this is all about. We're praying for the future. We're praying for the survival, for the greatness of our culture and of our children, the education system, all the experience, the knowledge and the wisdom, that we can look forward to the future with that kind of an eye for the future, that we're clearing a spot. And that's truly what's taking place. The staff here, all the people involved have a role in that, looking to the future. And everyone here is a part of that look to the future. And that's what we're talking about. And acknowledging everybody here. Raise your hands to you for being good Paulette people. Hanging in there, having fun. And that when we see our younger people, that's our prayer. That's what we do in our house. We always have our time that we stand our children up to be acknowledged and to be taught, to be trained. That's what our uncle did to us. My grandparents did to us. So we've taken that responsibility on. And now a word from our sponsor.
Look at this. Thank you, baby. Miigwech once again to my family, the House of Slanai. We're really excited about our 20th anniversary. Today is a celebration, and it's a time to be joyful and happy. As I said, the Longhouse is still visioning. We're always visioning. So we're here to share with you our vision for the future. And as Delbert has indicated, that what we're doing is always thinking ahead, and we're thinking about those generations that are still coming. So just very briefly, because we know that it's getting late, we want to share some exciting news about the vision for the future of the Evergreen State College Longhouse. We envision that in 2017, the Longhouse will once again hold our second Indigenous Visual Artists of the Pacific Rim gathering. We're looking forward to that. Our staff team and board have been working really hard for a long time. We have plans to establish a Master of Fine Arts in Indigenous Arts at the Evergreen State College. We have a vision to indigenize the Evergreen State College, and we're not stopping with the Longhouse. As you know, we opened the carving studio in 2012, and in 2014, we added another 7 acres to what we're calling the Indigenous Arts Campus, and the Board of Trustees at the Evergreen State College added it to the campus master plan, so it's official. We're establishing the Indigenous Arts Campus at the Evergreen State College. We built the carving studio. The first thing we did was have box drums created with David Boxley as the lead, and we already saw that the carving studio was too small for what we need to do in the future. So part of our plan is to build a larger carving studio, to build a weaving studio, and a cast glass studio. So here to talk about our future vision and his role with respect to our new weaving studio, the Fiber Arts Studio, please help me welcome Peter Boom, our development officer.
How you guys doing? This is a lot of fun. So we've been celebrating our past and our present, and that's amazing. Beautiful people coming through, beautiful songs, beautiful dances. What are we going to do in our future is a real question that we talk about a lot around here. And one of the things that we do is we tie our past into our future. We tie our past into our present, because that is who we are, is how we identify ourselves. So as we have these slides, you see when the Longhouse was being put together and constructed 20 years ago. 20 years! That's pretty amazing. We set the bar, we set the standard. This was the very first Longhouse in the United States on a college campus. It was the first one. That's amazing. We set the bar, and we set it really high. And the next building that we are doing is our fiber arts studio. As you can see on the slide now, that's our carving studio. It's in the design of a Salish longhouse, a shed-style longhouse, single pitch. And John Smith was a consultant on that project. You see this Salish longhouse here, that one's out in Nia Bay. We tied our past into our present and into our future. Now we have a picture of old marae down in New Zealand. Lionel Grant has designed this fiber art studio that we're making, and he believes very strongly in tying, he's such a visionary person, a visionary artist, and he ties the past in with the present and the future. And a couple of years ago, I had a chance to go to Aotearoa, and I went to Lionel's house, as it's affectionately referred to, in Unitec in Auckland. And it was the singular, most amazing building I have ever seen anywhere. And here's some pictures of it. Lionel is visionary, beyond his time. That is a place that is alive. You walk in and that place has a real spirit to it. It hits you in an emotional, visceral, spiritual way. And I felt two things when I was in that facility. One, I was in awe at how beautiful and how masterfully it was created and done. And two, I was a little bit ashamed. I thought, we are Salish people, we have beautiful work and beautiful art. Why haven't we done this? And more to the point, as a Salish artist, why haven't I done this? Why haven't I done something like this? And that moment, it was crystal clear to me that in my lifetime, I need to participate in a building like this. I need to create something, a Salish version of this. So I came home, and Lionel was creating this fiber art studio, and it's going to be a mixture of Maori and Salish work. And there's just no way you could keep me off that project. No way, because it is extraordinary. It's amazing what we have going on. Can we get to the next slide and show what our plans are? So we can see where we're going here with this fiber arts building. We're merging the two. The roof line is an upturned waka, their canoe. And the joint system, the homemade joint, where they bring the two logs together to strengthen their canoe, that is going to be a skylight that spans the length of the roof, bringing in natural light into this weaving studio. Marrying the two ends, the Maori end and the Salish end together, strengthening that bond that we have across the Pacific. Let's go to the next slide. And we're going to have, it's an indigenous structure. It's not a Western structure with an indigenous facade. We are carving structural elements, poles and posts and beams. They're going to be carved. The walls are going to be woven. We are setting the bar very, very high. It's going to be unique, one-of-a-kind building. This is going to be the crown jewel of Evergreen. When you come to Evergreen, you're going to want to visit this building. Let's go to the next one. And so this is some of the work that we've already done. We're already carving on the wood that we have available. We're already working on this. And we want to have partnerships. We want to have partnerships with individuals, with artists, and with tribes. And as amazing and wonderful as Tina and Laura and the Longhouse staff is, can't do this on our own. So, this is the uncomfortable part for most of us, the part we hate. We need your help. We need your buy-in. We need your help. We have amazing carvers working on this. We have John Smith from Skokomish. We have Alex McCarty, who's Macaw. We have Taylor Christ, who's Squaxin Island. We have Lionel Grant, who's just amazing, Maori. And then myself working on this project. We need your help. We need you to put the word out to let people know that we are creating this project and that we're creating an amazing building. People wonder, why is art so important? Because art is who we are. It is the face of our culture. It's what we put out for the world to see. It is how we define ourselves as indigenous people. Art is us. It is our culture. And so it's incredibly important. And I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to dig into my own pocket. I'm going to put money on this blanket, and I ask you to do the same. And thank you guys very, very much for being here and for sitting here and for experiencing this with us. We appreciate it. Thank you. And while we're at it, we do have things that we're selling in the back. And we're going to continue to do interesting things. As an artist, one of the greatest things that I've loved about the Longhouse is they've always given and given and given. Longhouse actually never asked me for anything. Where if you're an artist, you know how many times organizations ask you for work. Hey, can you help us with this auction? Can you give us a donation for this, that, or the other? The Longhouse has never done that. In fact, all they've ever done is help. And it's an amazing thing to be part of. And so thank you so much for this. Did you know that this Longhouse was started when students put a blanket out? That's how this was begun. And look at it, we're in here 20 years later, and everybody's having a good time. That's awesome. Thank you. Just reminded that a lot of you are like me and hardly ever carry cash. We have some pledge cards in the back that you can pledge. You can write a check for. We'll take a credit card. Although we won't take your firstborn, we might educate them though. So back in the back table there are pledge cards if you want to donate that way. And it's tax deductible.
At this time, we want to acknowledge someone who is a longtime leader in Indian country, someone who is highly respected, highly honored, and it's a real treasure to have someone of such stature here with us, who's a great speaker, great leader. At this time, I'd like to call Hank Adams to please come forward. At this time, we would like, in our language, was Swawi East. That means a witness. And we like to, the value of a witness is to validate the truth. This truly did happen. That's the meaning of Swawi East, is to spread the word that this truly happened. I was there. And so the witnesses are, well, the first will be Gary Galbraith. Please come forward and share some words of wisdom, what you've seen today.
It's quite an honor to even be up here. I graduated from here in 1985. Part of the Native American Studies program. My teachers were David Whitener, Lloyd Colfax, Mary Nelson, Rainer Hasenstadt, Craig Carlson. They were all in there, Gail Tremblay. And one of the things that was always talked about was this dream, this thing they called a longhouse. And we dreamed about that for a really long time. And I recall standing with Lloyd Colfax from Nia Bay, Macau, over here near Seminar 2 back in 1986, I think it was, 87. And he looked at this area over here. And he said, if I had my way, that's where I would put the longhouse. And he wasn't too far off. It's where the carving shed is where his thought was, in that meadow back there. And so there was this vision 20 years before the Longhouse was here about the fact that this building and everything about it would be here in this place. This was after a couple years of walking down to the beach in the woods and thinking about having a traditional smokehouse somewhere out in the woods. And we all, oh yeah, the administration will go for that, you bet. They'll let us have a smokehouse out here in the middle of the woods. But this place is a home to me. When Joe and everybody when they were drumming last night, when they're drumming this morning, even before I walked into this building tonight, I can feel our elders that have gone and passed on as they were coming into this building today. And I know they're always there. And I know they're always here, and I forget that sometimes. We all get caught up in this stuff. When we leave here, we're going to get caught up in it again because it's life. But the beauty of today and the witnessing so many young people singing and dancing and knowing their songs and the stories and the movements and the discipline. Just watching that next generation that's going to be dancing 20 years from now as adults in the 40-year anniversary of the Longhouse or the carving studio or the fiber art studio. And I like to think that, Red Square and the library loop is the back of the campus. This is the front of the campus. And we're moving closer and closer to the front door, to the water. Started with this, you all have the carving studio. Next is the fiber art studio. Who knows, next across into the meadow, I hope. But every year, closer and closer to home, closer and closer to the shores of the original ancestors of this land, and just giving thanks for the fact that I had such wonderful teachers from Squaxin Island, from Nia Bay, who just really cared so much about Native students here and the vision and the fact that no one, in the words of Mary Ellen Hoyer, no one should ever be denied an education that they deserve. And again, it's an honor to be called as a witness to be here. And I'll end with saying really quick, I want to mention the name and hope you'll never forget Joseph Waterhouse Jr. Many of you knew him. He was a student of Mary Ellen Hilaire. He was the reason that I even got involved with thinking about the dream of the Longhouse. He was the reason I went to Aotearoa for 5 months to document the maraes and the culture and the canoes and bring that back. It was his vision in 1987 and 1988, to Bahaidaquam, to once again know each other. It was his dream that we travel to Aotearoa to meet our relatives that our ancestors had met before. And he would be so happy right now to see what's going on in this. And I know everyone who has passed on and gone before us would be too. And again, just an honor to be here, and thank you all very much. Thank you. Like,
As Laura's presenting the blanket to Gary, I want to say that part of why he was chosen was because he was one of the very first witnesses at the very first Longhouse ceremony. So here he is 20 years later as our witness once again. Miguel. Our second witness is another member of the alumni. We'd like to call forward Rebecca Sespuch.
Oh good, they lowered it for me. I hope it doesn't fall out. We'll see. I just want to say, Tukweyok, thank you very much for asking me to witness. It feels like a big privilege to be here in this space and to be with all of you and to hear all the good words and the songs and the blessings here. Something that I can really remember vividly as a student when I came here to Evergreen was the Longhouse. And for me, the Longhouse always clearly represented a space for me here on campus. You know, it's really scary to be an Indigenous student that comes to higher education. You know, this bureaucracy, this oftentimes institutions that really represent places that Indigenous people aren't supposed to be. And I know that when I saw the Longhouse, I knew this is a place for me. And also I knew that I had every right to be here. You know, and it really made me remember the treaties and remember the things that were put in those treaties, which is that we have every right to our education. And also that those just because the institutions are shaped in this specific way, saying that we have to do it in a certain way, this Longhouse proves that it doesn't have to be that way. It's exactly the way that we, as Indigenous people and our ancestors, have sacrificed. And remembering that, you know, it's the time, right? It's the time to bring back those traditional ways and to make sure that these institutions, we don't cater to them, but they cater to us. And it's time to revive those traditional ways. And so it's such a blessing to be here and to see all of the good things that come into this space, especially as a student. You know, anytime that I would really struggle or just need a home, I could come here, you know, and I could feel the love and the strength here. You know, and I just really want to reflect back on Joe's words earlier about having a strong heart. You know, this was the place that I would call home, and no matter what I was going through, I would have a strong heart when I would leave here. And that's how I feel today, witnessing all of these good things. And I really believe in the dreams for the future, and I really respect, and I'm so grateful for all of the sacrifices of all of the ancestors before us, and of all of the leaders now that have come through these walls and that have held this space and that will go on into the future. So I just want to say Tukweyok for all of those good things.
We are honored to have a youth representative from the Hazel Peak family, so we invite Betty Pacheco to please come forward.
Good evening. My name is Betty Pacheco. My Indian name is Lahilawa. I am from the Nisqually Chehalis people. I am also a student at the Northwest Indian College. I'm studying the Tribal Governance Business Management. Expected graduation of June 2016. I also work for the Nisqually tribe and the Children and Family Services. I would like to acknowledge the words and the work of many tribal people who have been responsible for us to be here to celebrate 20 years in the Longhouse. When the pillars have passed on, like my grandmother, Hazel Pete, our people say their real work has begun as ancestors. And that is one of the reasons why we're here to honor and to acknowledge their legacy. A legacy of commitment to make sure our culture continues and is strong. I am a Nisqually master weaver and reap the benefits of the many opportunities I've had to learn from master weavers and my extended family. I'm also part of the basket project, the weave of 2016 baskets for the Paddle to Nisqually 2016. If you are in the area, anywhere near Nisqually, please feel free to come join us at the Walker House in Nisqually on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 4. We'll complete the baskets by December 17th. My friend had asked me, wow, it's really been 20 years that I've known you. And I said, yes, in 20 years that we've been in this Longhouse. And this Longhouse over 20 years has many memories for me. I have been here for many celebrations, many teachings. My son was named here. His Indian name is is Shaughnessy. So yes, 20 years is a long time. And I look forward to 20 more years and what this will bring for us and the future of Evergreen. So I would like to thank you for honoring me as a youth witness for today's event. And for the next several months, I will tell people about the Longhouse celebration, what I saw, what I heard, the songs, the dances. And if you see me, I will say thank you. Thank you for being here today. And I raise my hands to you and say aho. Thank you.
And now representing our illustrious and all-volunteer Board of Advisors, please help me welcome Sherrod Yonker.
I'm still holding it in. Sorry. First off, Daisitla Sherrod Yonker Sinthanu Milak Ka'u and Kokwaltane. My name is Sherrod Yonker. I'm Milak and I'm Kokwal from Coos Bay, so that's where my people are from. I also want to say Mabuhay to Tiny and Vendiolas. On my mother's side, I am Filipino, so I just wanted to acknowledge them as well as all us being Indipinos. It's nice to see that there are others out there. It's really hard to follow people that are very eloquent in expressing what happened here. When they asked me to be a witness, I was very reluctant because I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't know what emotions are going to compel me to say something. And we always say that our ancestors are behind us telling us the right things to say. Well, I think my ancestors are jokers because they're always putting thoughts and ideas in here that just come out. There's no filter. And so I'm desperately trying to think of something intelligent to say, which means it comes out as being stupid. But that being said, trying to describe what I saw when I saw the dancers, and I would look at the crowd to see the expressions on your guys' face, and just the atmosphere here. It would be like me being smoked trying to describe a fire. That's what I felt. That's what I felt. I was all over the house here, and now I guess it's time for me to go out that smoke hole and kind of share that feeling and describe that warmth that's here. And I don't know how or how I was invited to be involved in something so much bigger, but I am definitely humbled and very happy that people asked me to sit on this board. And obviously, once again, you guys are bad judges of character because it didn't happen. But I just want to say thank you for letting me be here in your presence. And hopefully I can learn something just by sitting here, by osmosis. Maybe some of your wisdom will make me a little bit smarter, and unfortunately probably lowered your guys' IQ a little bit by me being in the room. But I want to say thank you, and Kialet Tsutsi West, I'll shut up now.
I'd like to thank our witnesses for validating, making this true. And it'll be for a long time. We'll be hanging out, they'll be seeing all this work that's taking place in the future, and they will be able to say, I was there. And they'll be able to tell everyone what took place. That's their role. Their role is to go tell everybody back where they come from. At this time, I'd like to say that they're preparing for sharing of the wealth, shaking of the hands of the people that are still remaining, and that there are things that were made by the staff, made by the board, made by families out in the community. And these things that they're going to share with the people, these things were made for the family that's here. In a way, they're going to feed your Indian. You know, they used to tell us that when you give somebody, you're feeding their Indian, their person, their self. You're feeding that Indian. And that would satisfy the house. And then the house is satisfied, and that all of life that is moving forward is fed as well. So we're feeding far more than just us as an individual sitting here. We're feeding the house and all of life. We're affecting that much by this work, the generosity of the people that have offered things to shake your hand. Thank you for being here. And that the teaching is that you take these things home, and that there may be a time when you're weary, maybe tired, maybe feeling a little bit under the weather, maybe feeling a little bit lonely. And that's when you hold this gift that you were given. You look at that and you relive this night, that you may feel the medicine that is in the home today, that it can move forward to that time in the future. That's part of the teachings about gifting the people.
at this time, we would like to gift our MCs, and we'll start with Wade Green, having traveled the furthest. I'd like to ask you to stand and be gifted. Of the MCs. And our good friend John Goodwin, also known as Nightown. Midwest for your work tonight. And of course, someone who's near and dear to my heart, Smut Coon. Thank you for your work. Pete wants me to let people know that the blanket's still on the floor and that we do appreciate all of your very generous contributions. So what we're going to do now is we're going to say some names, and if you would stand when your name is called, then the Longhouse staff team is going to bring a gift to you. And then after that, we're going to distribute the rest of the gifts in the giveaway. Trudy Marcelli. Member of our Longhouse Advisory Board. Miles Miller, member of our Longhouse Advisory Board. Gail Tremblay has left. Mario Caro, another advisory board member.
Give me that.
And of course, our cooks, Marcy Johns Colson and Mark Johns Colson. Elma Barton, please stand. Kulanani Nihoa, if you're still here. Is there a representative from our Native Student Alliance that can accept a blanket from the Longhouse to our Native Student Alliance? Is there someone? Okay, all right, great. We got our Native Student Alliance is here. John and Jackie Smith from Skokomish. Alex McCarty, if you're still here, you're getting a blanket. Okay. Bonnie Graft, former staff member at the Longhouse. Paul Nicholson and Helen Carlson from the Legacy Gallery. Another alum, Lorraine Van Brunt. Sally Brownfield, you cooked a lot of those fundraising dinners for the Longhouse. Thank you so much. All night long I've been meaning to say how honored we are that Peninsula College Longhouse is in the house. Cindy Cecil Marchand, are you still here? Director of our reservation-based program. There she is, way in the back. Christina Ackley, for our Native American Studies program, World Indigenous Peoples. And Zoltan Grossman, who also teaches in Native American and World Indigenous Peoples. Brian and Penny Cole. Marvin Hanna, are you still here? Another alum from the Tacoma campus. And Janelle Blackowl, another alum. Representing the Chica family, Valerie Chica. There's someone who worked very hard to establish the first Indigenous Peoples Day in the city of Olympia, and that's Brian Fresina. Okay, and to express that we value each and every person that's here, we are going to call upon the Miller family to have a giveaway song. And at that time, the Longhouse staff and board will be distributing our wealth to each and every one. Are there any dance group leaders that didn't receive a blanket?